What is going on, you guys? Behind me is a truly special car. This is a 2009 Ferrari 430 Scuderia. The Scuderia was the replacement to Ferrari's famous 360 Challenge Stradale. It is the F430's variant of the lightweight track weapon. Offered with a single clutch F1 transmission, the 430 Scuderia was originally unveiled at the 2007 Frankfurt Auto Show by none other than Michael Schumacher. This particular example is a one-of-one. It is finished in Verde Pino with a matching Verde Pino interior. It is actually also a 2009 car. 2009 cars are notably more rare due to different production numbers, the 07 and 08 variants being a little more common.
Oddly enough, the interior of this Scud is covered in leather. While most Scuderias feature little to no leather to actually save weight, the original owner of this car spec'd it with $57,000 worth of custom tailor-made options from Ferrari. Even the trunk of the car is done in leather. Ferrari doesn't even put a glove box in the car to save weight, yet ironically it does have a radio. The interior is dripping in carbon fiber, with every carbon fiber option checked and even more tailor-made carbon fiber options. One of my favorite features is actually the carbon fiber shift lights in the LED driver zone on the steering wheel.
The stripe on this car was a $9,000 option and was originally painted at the factory by Ferrari. When you look at the 430 Scuderia, you can notice a lot of subtle exterior differences when compared to the standard F430.
The front bumper, rear bumper, exhaust, diffuser, etc.
Well, to the naked eye, the Scud is not that different from the standard 430. The mechanical internal components of the car tell a much different story. It has a single clutch F1 transmission, which the standard 430 has as well. However, dubbed by Ferrari, this transmission is completely different. It is the Superfast 2 transmission, which shifts in close to 60 milliseconds. The engine, wrapped in carbon fiber, is a masterpiece in its own right. A 4.3-liter V8 with over 500 horsepower and revving up to nearly 9,000 RPM is a completely different driving experience.
Unlike most manufacturers, Ferrari's engines are born in Italy in Ferrari's own forgery. While most modern engines are covered in plastic and cladding, Ferrari always seems to manage implementing design into the mechanical architecture of their engines.
Well, none of these cars are cheap. The feeling you get from driving the Scud is unlike anything else. It makes you feel like the F1 drivers of old, or even Sebastian Vettel and Charles Leclerc of today. At around the $200,000 price mark, the car is by no means cheap, reasonable, or even relatively obtainable. However, when compared to Ferrari's other track-bred weapons, it becomes a much more reasonable F1 experience. You get to feel like the driver, you get to be in the cockpit, you get to have an experience that perhaps you can't get from other cars unless you're driving a LaFerrari or something deep into the 6- and 7-figure price point. Scuderia means stable in Italian, which is an absolutely fitting name for this car. So the Scud is what it's affectionately known as, and it would make Enzo proud. I mean, it's just absolutely fantastic to drive. While you don't have the user engagement of a manual transmission, the responsiveness of the paddles is absolutely fantastic. I'm actually truly amazed that such a single clutch transmission can be so
this car obviously was the successor to that, but I don't think it's acknowledged because you still have so many good cars like the Speziale and the Pista